Legacy of Wisdom is a nonprofit project building a vision for best practices for living and fulfilling life's potential. While focusing on the last half of life, it remains applicable to all generations.
That you feel that these women need to bring into the leadership. It's obviously not just that they're of a different gender. There is something that you also speak about, I think conscious men, or
well, I mean,
there's some qualities of wisdom or some qualities of something that you think are needed in the world of leadership.
One of the things that makes me so happy here is that this is organized by men. And you're here, and you're a man. What it shows, what it embodies, this conference, is it's really not about gender as much as it is about consciousness. And men can possess feminist consciousness. And it's really important for those of us who identify ourselves as feminists to not forget that, because we will not change the world if we leave out the men who embody consciousness, feminist consciousness. Eckhart Tolle wrote in his last book, The New Earth, and it was, I can't quote him directly, but it's easier for women because ego isn't lodged in our DNA quite the same way as it is in men. I know, Gloria Steinem said, it's not that we're better than men, we just don't have our masculinity to prove.
I can relate to that. Somebody said, why are there 6 million sperm and only 1 egg? Answer, because the sperm won't ask for directions.
Directions.
Right? So, I mean, it's I don't like to be the guy who doesn't know. I'm supposed to be the one who knows, right?
I know, you poor guys. It's so hard for you. And that's why it's so great that there are men who aren't stuck there. But for various reasons that others in this room understand better than I do, it's not so true with women. It's partly because we have wombs and have, whether we have actually had children or not, have the capacity to give life. Physiologically and psychically, it's easier for us, I think, to be more in tune with the earth, with each other. But as I was writing my last book, I came upon Erickson's word, generativity, which he considers, and which people like Dr. Robert Butler, and other great gerontologists consider critical to successful aging. Generativity, which means, and it relates to what Ram Dass has said, that age is the time for replacing ego with soul. It means moving outside yourself into the outer world and really seeing what you can do, and not just seeing it, but then doing it. And I want to go back to the analogy of the rhizomes, because I find that, I've spent a lot of time in the outdoors, and one of the largest plant organisms are aspen groves. And aspen groves are, in fact, all one plant. There's this underground root that springs up, but it's all one plant. And if you think you have wisdom and you keep it in, you stay underground. But in order to nurture it, you have to allow yourself to come up and manifest. And in the manifesting, and this is why it's important for successful aging, generativity, you have to manifest it, which is like capturing sunlight to bring it back and enrich you. And there's been a lot of studies, one very interesting one done by the Harvard, it's a longitudinal study. It followed hundreds of people, wealthy people, mostly men, but some women, and then inner city, mostly men, from adolescence till death. And George Vallant at Harvard is sort of the director of this study. You're probably aware of this study. And one of the things it found out? Women who practice generativity are more apt to have orgasms. And you can be, I consider those cloistered nuns and monks who spend their lives praying as active. I thank God for them, because I think that prayer and meditation changes the ether. And, you know, I mean, we all know that we're all the same thing. And, you know, the butterfly can wave its wings in Mexico and it will affect, I mean, we know that. So praying is part of being active, you know, but it's absolutely critical to our own well-being, to the fostering of wisdom, and to the well-being of the world for us to manifest. Not just for orgasm, but but because that's how we will change things. And I think it will be older women. There are more of us. We're the biggest demographic. We're the fastest growing demographic. We outlive men by 5 years. We're not afraid of change. What the heck do we have to lose? You know, we're not in the marketplace anymore. Well, I am, but mostly women my age aren't. But, you know, we're braver. And we become, there's this great androgenization that begins to take place with old age. Men, partly it's hormonal, they lose their testosterone, and women gain, in relation to estrogen, gain testosterone. So we are more than ever before in a position to lead. And clearly there are many men of consciousness who can lead with us. But, you know, I think the most important thing that we can do as older women now is recognize that we need to step into the shoes of leaders. And one of the things that we have to do as leaders is to make it not scary for young people to get older. You know, I mean, I'm so happy because some young people come up to me all the time and said, "You've made me not afraid to get older." And I think that that's one of our jobs. You know, it's like create the footprints that they can walk in through the minefield of getting older. And then also opening our consciousness to the entire world, not just to our family or our community or even our country, but empathically embracing the world and the women leading in the other parts of the world. Because no matter what, you know, we are still, our organizations are underfunded compared to men's. We do not have leadership positions anywhere in the way that would approach equality. And that has to happen. Anyway.
Thank you.